What's up, guys? Today's day like 182 on our journey to 2000, I think. And today we're going to play a 15-minute rapid game. But before we get into that, I just want to mention I'm getting kind of annoyed and frustrated. I'm very frustrated with myself. The fact that I lost and I drew games recently, like, I don't understand how I was 1797 rated on April 20th, something like this. And this video is, more than a month later. It's like 2 months later, and I'm still in the same kind of situation. I'm like 1650, 1680, whatever. But I lost 200 elo and I still haven't recovered since then, which is just it's frustrating. But I guess that's what makes chess unique. Or maybe not unique, but unique. Because when you're a good player in chess, no matter what your rating is, you had to lose a lot. Right? Like the best players in the world, a lot of them probably lose a lot of their games or draw. And that's just the nature of the game. One mistake could just completely just ruin the game for you. So I have to kind of accept that fact more and not focus as much on the aspect of reaching 2000, because then I create like plans in my head. Oh, by the end of this month, I want to be 1800. By the end of next month, 1950. Because it's not the right way of thinking. I think as long as I keep studying, as long as you keep studying and learning and analyzing your own games and doing other stuff, then progress is inevitable. And maybe there will be some big jump where in 1 week you gain like 200 elo. So that's kind of the mindset I'm trying to gear myself towards more. Because sometimes it's just hard after a loss or after a couple of losses in a row to get back up. But anyway, we're going to get into the game. So let's get started. Okay, I didn't study much today because I didn't have much time, but still, let's play the game and see what happens. Okay, let's go into our Pirt's defense that we've been studying, that hopefully people play into. One of the 24 variations that I've studied. At least slightly. You could slightly play into it. A lot of people love playing the Queen's Gambit. I have to figure out how to counter the Queen's Gambit with the Pirt's, I think. But I feel like the most common moves are the Queen's Gambit and then bringing the bishop to c4, which is one of the variations I studied, but one of the later ones, so I don't recall it as well. This person waited a full minute after my first move. I'm not gonna lie, lately 15-minute games have been a little bit frustrating just the past few days, making me want to jump back onto 10-minute rapid games. But in those games, I feel like I didn't have enough time to think through the positions. So I'll just take it slow and, play the game. Okay, so it looks like my opponent disconnected. Well, I guess he's in Greece, so maybe that's... Okay, he came back. The connection bar went down. Okay, so far this is normal. It could transpose into the Pirt's the way that I want it. Yeah. Okay, so this is transposed so far. If he attacks, we take and take knight here. If he goes for the Austrian attack, we just continue our setup, and if he does an early attack, we bring the knight to d7. So a lot of the ideas are kind of rushing to my head, but one move could just change everything, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so f3 is a common move in this opening, but not at this point, because now you're blocking in your knight. What happens when they bring f3? I think the common thing is bishop e3, and then queen d2, and then f3. And in those lines, going a6 is a thing to kind of see what they'll do. I still like a6. It stops any of these ideas. If he pushes... takes. Okay, I guess it stops knight g4. Right? Pushes, takes with check, takes. And we don't have knight. We don't have that move anymore. So attacking the center might be a thing here, but then we get our queen traded, so I don't know. What else do we have? The bishop can fianchetto. If he attacks, the knight might be able to go to d7, because it is kind of an early attack. H5 is very common too, but that lets him attack. So bishop g7, if he attacks, we go knight d7. If he takes, we just take back. Yeah, I think we're just going to go bishop g7 and see what our opponent does. Okay. It's a little different, I think, than the lines we studied. Again, because of this f3 move. His knight is not developed. So let me think. Because his knight is not developed, it means this is easier to attack potentially, right? Can we go d7 and go for this attack? Takes, I don't know, take with the knight. Because usually, or a lot of times when the bishop comes here in the Austrian, which the pawn would be on f4 and the knight would be developed, then we fianchetto the bishop and we attack c5, I think. So I'm actually tempted to go to b6. Of course, it allows him to check. I don't think that really matters. We have this bishop move. It allows his knight to come in. We can just kick it away. So let's ponder that for a second. Yeah, it's still not clear which side he wants to castle on, and he could still go for this battery. So now I'm not sure. Now I'm thinking a6 maybe. So if he goes for the battery, we castle into it, and then we go b5. Let's do that. Common way to counter attack in the Pirts. Yeah, so he does do this. We're going to castle. And actually, now that I think of it, knight d7, knight b6 to give a space for a knight d7 is also something maybe I should have considered. I don't know. I actually understand some of the ideas in this opening because I looked it over so much on chessable.com. For those that don't know, free courses up there, short and sweet. Pirts defense, something like that. Okay, so he's done everything you really do to set up just regular development moves. But I'm not sure what I want to do. A quick c5 sometimes is a good move, sometimes not. I'm still tempted to go knight d7. If he comes here, we have this. Takes, and we're targeting the bishop. We also have this, so he stops this push by protecting the pawn here. This blocks in our bishop, though. I like knight d7 because it comes here. But let's say we go knight d7. He pushes the pawn. Maybe it's too slow. I mean, he's ready to castle. He's ready to castle, but I guess he could go knight e2, which could be interesting. So I want to go b5, because then our knight here doesn't block in the b pawn anyway. So let's do that. The push doesn't matter, I don't think, because we have this knight move. So let's do that. The annoyance of f3 is the knight can't go to g4 to kick away the bishop. Knight c6 might be an option also. Okay, so he finally does this move. We're going to let him trade. We can... this kind of looks familiar. Something like attacks. He brings the knight back somewhere or forward. So let's see. Attacks. He could bring the knight here. Then we push... The only thing where the knight makes sense, where it can be annoying, is coming here. In which case we just trade and open up the file there probably. Otherwise... Here and then takes. Maybe knight comes here. Takes. I don't mind that. Let's see. Very interesting. I need more practice in this opening anyway. So he's probably gonna take. We should just pre-move recapturing. Oh, actually no, he won't take. Wait, if he takes pre-moving, this is terrible. Because we could take and we're threatening to take the queen, and now he's disconnected. We'll auto-resign. Probably knight e2 in the future to castle short. I feel like he's playing it really smart just by developing slowly so he doesn't tell me which side he castles on. And we already said which side we castle on, but I don't know. It feels okay. Okay, so he runs away. That makes sense. Now we could continue with this move. Takes. Knight comes here. If takes, we take. Other thing, here, pawn takes, pawn just takes, and we just push with all this stuff. An option. The knight can also go to f4. This knight is not coming out. I don't know what it's doing. I don't know. I'm tempted to do this move, but I feel like getting rid of a center pawn, especially one that's protecting an e4 to e5 push, is not a good idea. And fianchettoing doesn't make sense because of this structure. I want to maybe do this. Maybe knight c6 made more sense. And then to target the center pawn. We could also go knight d7. Here, takes. Knight here. Also rook e8. If he doesn't trade, then no, but he'll probably trade. Can we push the center ourselves? Knight back, prepping a push of the center. If he takes, we'll probably just come here. So let's try this. Smart. Ah, now our bishop is blocked. It's like he knows all the ideas behind this. We have h6. Knight comes here. Where is it going? I'm not sure. Then we could strike, or we strike. He goes here. And we kick it out anyway. So yeah, I think we can strike the center here. If he takes, we take. If he takes, we take. With check, he takes. We develop the knight. He gives a check. We just bring it back. He comes here. Yeah, let's strike the center. We're going for this anyway. He still hasn't castled, which is crazy. Like, what was the point? You're just going back. I guess he doesn't have to take here. But we'll put more pressure. And if he pushes this, we have takes. I don't know. Okay. Knight c6 looks good. I like it. If he tries to push this, we could take. No. We could take. Queen here. I'm not sure. But knight c6 just looks good. Another option is pushing the center. He could close it off. He offered a draw. No, this is interesting. I might lose this, but it's so interesting. I'm gonna move the knight. A draw is probably better for me, but I'm really curious to see how this will progress. So now I'm wondering about knight b6 for a c5 push. It also gives us eyes on this knight, since this bishop's not doing much. Crazy that he hasn't castled yet. Maybe he's scared. Once he castles, we could decide what to do with this queen, I think. I don't know. Oh, he disconnected. Okay, so this guy's connection is not the greatest. That's why he probably wants to draw. I just talked about kind of not caring as much about winning in the beginning of this video. Or not that I shouldn't care as much, but I should kind of be okay with losing and drawing more often. So kind of the nice thing to do would be to draw him because he keeps disconnecting. But to be honest, I also talked about learning and stuff. And I think whether I win or lose, I'm going to learn a lot from this game. It's so interesting. So I don't really want to draw him, but it's probably nicer to. Nah, I'm not going to draw him. Sorry, bro. Let me see. Peak rating 1728. Seems like he's coming back to chess right now. Won a lot of games recently in Blitz. Blitz rating of 1481. Peak of 1680. That's high. Interesting. Okay. And in 18 seconds, he will auto-resign. I really was so curious about this game. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I kind of feel bad for not drawing now. Okay, well. Let's review this game. Oh my god, he had minus 40? How do you get minus 40? What? I don't understand that. Jesus Christ. But, alright, let's go over the game. I had 81.4% accuracy. One great move, 4 book, 1 inaccuracy, 3 mistakes. That's a lot of mistakes. So we're going to go over the game for this complicated opening. Let's see. Okay, all of this was fine. Yeah, the bishop here, there's so many things you could do in this opening. So typically, from what I remember, from what I've studied on the Chessable course, and you guys could see previous videos, I think it's at 20 variations. That video probably has info on this, but the way that goes, and this just kind of goes back to the same opening, is if they play something like this, the guy just suggests to continue. And the Austrian attack is the one to be kind of wary about. But I don't know. He played f3, and here I played a6, which was fine apparently. Castling was not great. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Now that I think of it, actually, h6 looks really good. It stops the bishop from coming in completely. My bishop still stops any knight developing moves. Well, actually, I don't even know if I want to stop the knight there. So that move looks good. Now the computer tells me castling is good. I don't know. The computer... Let me put it in full screen again. The computer is being weird. But I thought h6 might be okay. Okay, so h6 is okay. h5 is even better, it seems like. It kind of does the same thing of stopping the bishop, but at least we stop a g4 push, I guess. But let's see what happens. So I castled, he developed the bishop. Why, though? Why? What could he have done here? Could have... I guess he just has a quicker attack is the idea here? Like, I don't think this is so simple that I'm completely losing. Listen, this it says it's a mistake. I don't see it. Okay, and attacking the center does work. See, why though? Oh. Oh yeah, it just closes off. I'm so stupid. Wait. Of course it does. It just closes it off. So instead of all this, I could have came here if he takes. Then I take, he could take, but then I just take. And now there's an h4, but I have h5 probably, and the game is neutral, so... Yeah. d7, I was trying to be too... I don't know. Yeah, this move made no sense, and I was right about that. I thought this move was decent. Apparently... Okay, going for this right away was probably better. If he takes, I just... Oops, that's not what I want to do. I just take back. Yeah, this is very interesting, because I still have the c4 push. Now, if he comes here, I... get rid of this, which makes sense, but I give him in a semi-open file. And I'm guessing I could even go d4, queen d4. No, the knight takes me, I'm dumb. Maybe develop my knight. Yeah, okay, so this game was still pretty even. Very interesting. This probably to stop any attacks later and to stop some pushes. But very interesting, very interesting. Very interesting. I hope you guys enjoyed. I thought it was an interesting game. Of course, it would be nice if it went a little longer, but... Hope you enjoyed. Say Greece in the comments below, because that's where this guy's from. I really, really do appreciate all of you who have watched this far. I know some of you guys pretty decently now, and yeah, I really appreciate you just joining me on this journey, and I hope your journey is going well. I'll see you guys next time.